Hello, my loves, and welcome to this week's episode of I Think I Need Therapy. I want to talk about routines today and having a plan and having a schedule set out, having your morning routine, having a night routine, all of that stuff, and the healthiness of it, but also like the unhealthy side of it, because I have definitely fallen into the unhealthy side of all of this. But I wanted to talk about this because I realized in the past few days that I've been very, very anxious and just all over the place. My head has been all over the place and I haven't been very grounded, and I've just been anxious and didn't feel very accomplished at all or fulfilled with my days in the past few days because I haven't had much to do and I haven't had my days planned out. So they were kind of just literally all over the place, no flow to them, and I didn't know what I was doing with my day. And that's something that I don't do. I normally have my days planned out and structured like every single day so they can flow and I'm getting as much as I can done. And I'm at a place where that is what really works for me. But it's like if I don't have that, I get super anxious. And lately, for the past like year and a bit, I've been very on and off with my morning routines where it's like I want to have this morning routine. I want to have a morning routine that like I love and that, sets me up right for the day and that makes me feel good. But for the past year and a bit, it's just like I get into it, but then I like stop and I fall out of the routine, and then I just like never really go back until one day I'm like, fuck this, and then I try a new routine and then I'd like fall out of it again. And I think it's because I make my routines a little bit extreme when I do try and don't give myself credit for the routines that I have. But I just like, sometimes I wake up every morning and if I go on my phone. That's like the first thing I do is I go on my phone, and I have like a phone addiction in the past year, and I like literally hate it, but I can't not, like I just need to check my phone all the time. Like I just need to, and I need to check my notifications all the time. And I just feel like if I haven't checked my notifications in a while, I need to check them again. Like I need to know, and if there are notifications there, I need to clear them. Maybe it's I don't know what it is, but it's just like it's super annoying and I don't like it, and I don't like being on my phone that much. And when I wake up in the morning and the first thing I do is go on my phone because I genuinely feel like I need to, or else I'm like gonna go insane because I don't know what notifications are. Like I need to know, but then like if I don't have notifications, I feel like, what the fuck, why did nobody text me? Like why are people texting me all night? But then if I do have notifications, I have to clear them, and I have to know that they're there so then I can clear them. Maybe I have OCD. I don't know. It kind of sounds like it. But I don't like it because every single day I do that, and then I feel like shit because I tell myself like, oh, you just went on your phone. You just messed up your whole day. Which comes from my past and this toxic productivity mindset I have, which I will get into. But starting my day like that for the past few years, like it just sucks going on my phone, feeling like shit, beating myself up for going on my phone, and then having to carry on with my day. I honestly I do have a pretty decent morning routine right now that I've built up. It's like, and even there's still like little things engraved in me with my morning routine and with my night routine that I don't even think about. They're just like so engraved in me. It's just natural. It's like second nature to me. First nature, I don't know. Where I wake up and I get out of bed and I immediately make my bed. I've always made my bed for the past like 6, 7, 8 plus years. It's just even probably more than that. I don't know. I think in maybe elementary school, the last 2 years of elementary school, I didn't make my bed, but all through high school I did every single morning, and all through college, every single morning I make my bed. And then I go to the bathroom, I do my skincare, and I get ready, and then I come in to my room, I put a nice outfit on for the day, and then I eat breakfast. Sometimes I read and then I move on with my day. And that's my morning routine right now, which I think is actually a pretty decent morning routine. The only part that I don't like within it is that I'm on my phone. And I think that's just because I have an unhealthy relationship with my phone. And like being on social media, because everyone has said like it's so bad if you're on your phone and you shouldn't be spending all this time on your phone, and the first hour of your day needs to be screen free. And I've been trying to like work on that belief of like my phone being so bad and like the enemy, and social media being an enemy and makes me a bad person that I'm on it. I've been trying to like work on those beliefs, but it's really hard when that message is pushed so much that like it's so bad for you and you can't be on it. And I don't know, because I agree with it, but I'm also like, well, I think it's finding a balance, because I have had a very black and white mindset for years. And I see that here where it's like I'm either on my phone or I'm not at all. And in my mind, I need to be not on my phone whatsoever. It's like no phone at all in the morning. And when I go back to high school, I think I've talked about it a lot in my episodes before, because high school was a whole time for me where I went through a lot of different struggles and a lot of different stuff. I was mainly in this mindset of just like very, very extreme hustle culture, and that's where like the black and white mindset really was, because everything was just like all or nothing all the time. And I went into extremes with like a lot of things in my life at that point. So with like my morning routine and my night routine, it was so specific and so structured, and it had to be that every single day, and it had to be these extreme things every single day. So in the morning, I would wake up. When did I wake up? Like 5:30, 6 a.m. I would wake up, immediately drink a like mason jar I had prepped on my bedside table of lemon water. So I'd drink that like throughout the morning, but I'd try and drink most of it like right after I woke up. And I'd go to the bathroom and then like make my bed. Then I'd meditate for 10 to 30 minutes, do some yoga, and then either do homework or go work out. And then when I came home, I'd eat, shower. I would cold shower too, and then get ready and go to school. And that was mainly my morning routine most of high school, but it was the point where if I didn't meditate in the morning, I would get so anxious. I'd be like, okay, my day is gonna go to shit. Like, I remember being on trips for track and field, and like with my dad, we'd be in a hotel room, and I'd wake up, and if I didn't meditate, I'd be like, I'm gonna fail today. Everything's gonna go horribly. Like, my jumping's gonna be awful today. This day's gonna be horrible. If I don't meditate this morning, if I don't do yoga this morning, it's gonna be horrible. It's gonna be awful. Even being on school trips, like with my friends in a hotel room, I'd be like, I need to stretch right now. I need to do yoga. Like, I need to do this stuff, and I need to meditate. I'd sit on the freaking toilet and meditate because I needed to do it. Because in my mind, I had to do this stuff or else the day would be awful. I think I'm just going to diagnose myself with OCD right now. It was, like, that is kind of an obsessive behavior. But I had to every single day, or else my whole day would be awful, and I'd feel so anxious, like, if I didn't do this stuff. And it was only with specific things, like with the yoga and the meditation and drinking the water. With the other stuff, and making my bed kind of, but with other stuff it wasn't as bad. And I also, there was no screens for an hour before bed or after waking up. I could not go on my phone for an hour or more, and if I did, I'd just be like, feel like a failure. So that is the one extreme where I went to. And then after I kind of went to therapy and worked on that whole mindset of getting out of my extremes, I kind of went to a point where I just like ditched the whole routine and ditched having a whole perfect morning routine and night routine and being so structured and stuff, and tried to just like let it go, which I have, but to the point where like now I sleep with my phone in my bed, and I go on it right before I fall asleep, and I go on it right when I wake up, and I don't drink a whole glass of water in the morning, and I don't meditate anymore, and I barely do yoga anymore, and I don't do all this stuff for myself anymore. And so it was like, that was great self-care, but I was doing it in a very harmful way of self-care. That's kind of what that time was for me, where I did all this self-care that was great for me. Oh, I also journaled at some point in that morning, but I would journal every single day, and if I didn't, my day would also go to shit because I didn't say my affirmations and journal at all. Because my journaling at that point was just like a whole page of me writing affirmations and then kind of manifesting and stuff. And gratitude, which is great. That stuff is all great for you, and it's so helpful. But I was doing it in a way that if I didn't do all this stuff, like I forced myself to do it, and it was helping, but it also wasn't, because it just was so forced, and I was so anxious about doing it and having to get it all done, and like if I didn't do it, just feeling so anxious and all over the place, really. And so, like I was saying, now I don't really do as much of the self-care anymore, which sucks, and I want to, but then I'm also afraid of going back to this point where I was so toxic and like anxious if I didn't do all of that. And I think that's the mindset I have now with all this self-care stuff, like journaling and meditating and yoga, where I want to do it, but then it needs to be like every single day all the time, because that's how I was doing it. And I still view that past version of myself as like a perfect, like that's how I should be. And I think social media also pushes that a lot, and society pushes it a lot, where we need to be waking up every morning at 5:30, and we need to be working out every morning, going to the gym or going on like a 10-mile run, taking a cold shower, drinking a smoothie in the morning, getting all your emails sent out and all this work done, and reading a book and journaling and cleaning your whole apartment before 8 a.m. Like, it's so unrealistic, but like it can, like some of this can be obviously implemented into your daily routines, but society pushes it to the point where I'm like, I need to do that every single day and stay consistent every single day with this routine. And so I view that as perfect, and like it is attainable because I did it, but that's because I forced myself to and felt like a failure if I didn't do it all, and had so much anxiety around it all. And obviously it stopped because then I realized how unhealthy it was. But now I'm like, well, I want to do these healthy things, but I don't know. It's a whole, I don't know. And then I try and implement, okay, well, maybe I'll just meditate 3 times this week. And then I do it, but then I stop and I follow that habit. And so I think with building habits and with having this sort of mindset, it's really important to take a step back and realize that you don't have to do everything every single day. And these routines and self-care doesn't have to be self-care in that way, because I think there's so many other things that are self-care that we do that we don't even like realize is self-care. We just like brush over it and think that if we're meditating and journaling every day and drinking our smoothies and healthy meals and reading a book every day, then that's what's healthy and that's what's self-care. And yeah, that is a version of self-care, but also brushing your teeth every day, washing your face, taking a shower, putting on a nice outfit, drinking water, eating a meal, period. Doesn't even matter what kind of meal, if you enjoy the meal, that is all self-care. You know, brushing out your hair, self-care. Getting something done that you needed to get done, self-care. Going outside on a walk, self-care. Driving to like the store could be self-care. If you really enjoy going to Target or something and just walking around, that can be self-care. It all can be self-care if it's something that makes you feel good and, you know, is taking care of yourself. But we put I feel like we don't really recognize those things and give ourselves credit for doing that sort of self-care. And at least I don't. I'm like realizing now how I don't. And I feel like if I'm doing self-care, it has to be yoga, it has to be meditating, it has to be journaling. And sometimes that stuff is just really hard. It's really hard, especially with my past of it being so, having to be so extreme, and also making it so extreme and doing that, doing yoga every single day for like half an hour and meditating for 20 minutes every single day. Like, I just don't have that sort of time really anymore, and I don't really make that sort of time anymore for that stuff. And maybe I should, but I've tried, and it just is, it's difficult. It is difficult. And I think, as I was saying, with these habits and with that being what society pushes and everything, I think it's most important, and to make it sustainable and make these routines something we can maintain, is just to like build habits, start from small and build these habits from scratch and just slowly build them up. And they don't have to be extreme big things. It can just be, you make your bed every morning and you go for a walk outside, or you make your bed every morning, you do skincare, and you have a good breakfast. And if that's what it is, that is great. That is still a morning routine. That is still taking care of yourself. But I think the most key thing is building a routine and setting these habits that align with your goals. Because when we look at the $1 billion morning routine, or the routine that I was following, it kind of encompasses a lot of different goals rather than just focusing on you specifically and your unique life and goals. So for someone who, say, is wanting to focus on being more active, and their goal is to, get to the gym more and work out more and live a more active lifestyle, maybe that is waking up a little bit earlier, going to the gym in the morning as part of your morning routine, waking up, getting a cute gym outfit on, drinking your glass of water, going to the gym, coming home, taking a shower, eating a good breakfast. That's a perfect morning routine. And it doesn't have to be every single day, because you shouldn't go to the gym every single day. You need a day off. But adapting your morning routine to the day that you have and your goals for that day and the goals for your life. If you're someone who's more focused on school or your career, maybe that is waking up, doing your skincare, whatever, and brain dumping, or doing some brain activities and then getting some emails sent out, along with eating a good breakfast and maybe getting outside once. That's perfect. That's great. And you can do your emails outside. You can sit outside somewhere or like go for a walk somewhere and then sit and do your work and send out your emails and whatnot, or brain dump and journal somewhere outside. And that is perfect. That's great. And it doesn't have to be extreme. It doesn't have to be that much. It can just be little things that are kind of easy to implement and exciting as well. I think really with habits and building a routine, a really key important thing is to have each of them flow and have them all to be connected in a chain of events. So having it like, okay, you wake up, you make your bed, you go to the bathroom, you do your skincare, then you get dressed, and then you journal, and then maybe you send out an email, and then you make your breakfast, and you sit outside and you read. I'm like going through my own morning routine, but how they all flow into one another, and they are a chain of events, and they're not all isolated from each other. It's not, okay, do my skincare, I journal, and I eat breakfast. I mean, those can all flow into each other, but not leaving them all separate and independent, but making sure they flow all together really, really helps. And having like also cues when you wake up. If your gym clothes are already out and your runners are right there, you wake up, you see that, and you're like, oh, I want to go to the gym. That's a cue. Or having that glass of water right on your bedside table right when you wake up, that's a cue to drink your water. So having those cues as well in your morning and night routines and throughout your day, having those cues to start and then going through your whole cycle where it just flows and then becomes such a habit is, I think, the real main key to it all. And with this also, I think with routines and morning routines, night routines, daily habits and whatnot, it's important to forgive yourself over and over again, because there's obviously be times where maybe you're in a different environment or your day's just different or something just comes up and you're not going to be able to do it perfectly or the exact same, and that's okay. But you need to forgive yourself for those days, because you're not going to have it exact same every single day, and that's not like sustainable or realistic. Doing these routines and having a morning routine that like maybe you set for most days, but some days you don't do, that's okay. Maybe it's a Sunday and you're hungover and you have nothing to do that day. You just want to sleep in, maybe watch a movie in bed right in the morning. That's perfectly fine too. You don't need to do this every single day, but having a plan and having a routine set out that you follow majority of the time, that is you putting yourself first and working on yourself and making time for yourself, for your goals and for your future and for yourself, period. Because I think mornings and nights are time for you and to focus on you and, self-care. I think those are the main self-care times, because throughout the day we're busy, we're working, we're going to school, we're shopping, whatnot, I don't know, whatever you do in your day, spending time with people. And then early in the morning and late at night, it's more you winding down, you getting ready for your day, and it's kind of like a prep and wind down that's more of an independent time. So it's important to put self-care into those times, but sometimes you can't have self-care all the time because different things come up or your plans change or someone wants to go watch a movie when normally you would be doing your skincare or something. Or maybe you're going on a trip one morning early and all you can do is get up, make your bed, do your skincare, and then you have to go. That is totally fine. But remembering to give yourself grace and forgive yourself for it not being perfect all the time. Because, you're not going to be able to do this all the time. So remember to do that. And that's also like what happens with, I think, diets and like any healthy routine, is that society pushes that it needs to be like this all the time, 100%, when really that is not realistic. These healthy self-care routine things are just something that it's good to do majority of the time. But you need to have a balance, and that's not realistic with life and the way life works. In a perfect world, maybe, but we don't live in that world. We live in this world where things come up all the time and plans change a lot, and we're human. Sometimes we feel differently. Sometimes we feel like shit and just can't get out of bed. That is fine, but give yourself grace and don't push yourself and force yourself to do this stuff like I did in high school, because that just led to a big burnout and crumble and fall, and then I had to heal and go to therapy. But we're here now. And we're learning and we're finding the in-between and the balance between the extremes, because life is not black and white. Life is not all or nothing. There is an in-between. There is a middle that we can live in and find that perfect balance that we can have a sustainable life that can be maintained in a very healthy way. So, as for your morning routine, I hope you can find one that really fits to your goals and your needs and that makes you feel good, because that's the purpose of a morning routine, is to set you up right for your day. And it is true that the first things that you do in the morning are going to set up your day, so that first dose of like dopamine you get is what you're going to crave throughout the rest of the day. That's why I kind of don't like going on my phone, because probably why I have a phone addiction, is because when I'm giving myself that first dose of dopamine from my phone and from social media throughout my day, I go to my phone for that dopamine. I go to my phone thinking that, okay, I'm gonna get like a rush of dopamine from all this, and then it's a very crash and burn cycle. And I'm constantly going on it and constantly looking for that just boost. And so if you start your day off by getting that dopamine, getting that serotonin from exercise or from checking things off your to-do list right away, then you're going to be craving that. You're going to be craving more exercise to fulfill this need, and you're going to be craving checking more things off of your to-do list to fulfill that. So that's why it is important to incorporate those things into your morning routine, so then it flows throughout your day, and that's what really sets you up for that successful day, is what you do first. So I will try and make a little bit of a more new morning routine. That kind of gives me I kind of want to start meditating more and doing a little bit more yoga and not going on my phone immediately, but I can still go on my phone at some point, but maybe not just immediately after I open my eyes. I think that'll be the most sustainable if I do that, and not force myself to like immediately go just like no phone for 1 hour in the morning. If I just go, okay, not immediately after, but maybe here or there periodically throughout my morning, I can go on it, and that is okay. I think that'll be the most sustainable way to build a more healthy morning routine that I don't feel as shit about. Yeah. And adding in like a little bit of meditation, yoga, because I have time for that now in my morning, so I'm excited to add those in, but not forcing myself to do them every single day. I can do them maybe just like 3 times a week or 4, or just whenever I have that time to do them. So yeah, and I will update you guys on that and how it's going, maybe in a few more episodes. See if my phone addiction is still here after doing that. But yeah, I hope this helped you guys with routines, and if you're feeling the same way I was and I am with routines, and just how overwhelming they can be, and how much society kind of pushes the perfect image of a morning routine and of a night routine and of your daily plans and schedules, and just find a way that it can work for you, and find a sustainable schedule and routine that just fits to your goals and that you can maintain. But know that you can't do it every single day, because that's not realistic. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you all had an amazing week, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. You can find all episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. I will chat to you guys again next Tuesday, as always. Have an amazing, amazing week. I love you all so, so much. Okay, bye. Yeah. Bye.